What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the 10After7 podcast, episode 28. And I've got two guests here. You know, sports is all the way back when I've got Kyle Slowey placing over bets on a Tuesday night, and Deven Rall's world around him is collapsing since the NBA restart. I'm going to start with you, Deven. How do you feel about the whole thing? I know it's not good.
You're talking about the bubble situation with the NBA? You mean the fact that they're trying to play basketball games in the middle of a pandemic? Honestly, okay, this is what I'm going to say. I'll just come out right now. If the Kings had came back on fire, I would be all about this bubble, but my heart is completely broken. And I am basically going to find every way to hate this bubble. First of all, T.J. Warren, I'm pretty sure, is leading the NBA since in the serious.
Yeah, he's averaging 39.7 points per game. He scored 119 points over 3 games. I was actually going to get into that. Do you guys know where he went to college?
Somewhere in the ACC, right?
Correct. Slowey?
No, where do you go?
He went to NC State. He was ACC Player of the Year. I know who he is, but I didn't know that he was on the Indiana Pacers. Apparently, the Suns traded him for cash considerations, and Sports Illustrated actually put out from cash considerations to straight cash because he is getting buckets in the bubble.
Yeah, but okay, not that related, but we got to get into, you guys like the fans. Come on. Seriously.
I don't mind it. I don't care. Lloyd, what about you?
I think the baseball fans are creepy, just cardboard cutouts. Reminds me of a scary movie.
Baseball fans creepy. I actually think it's better when there's just nothing behind it personally. And NBA, dude, the NBA fans look like Wii Sports. Like, it looks so corny. Like, what they should do is just play regular video of fans from, like, last year.
Wait, what's going on? Are people actually virtually in there watching the games? Or are they just –
Yeah, and how does that work? Are you able to see from where you would be sitting, or do you have to pay for those tickets? These are questions I need answers to.
Yeah, we should have looked into it. I do know. I went on the app today just to look at the standings. And there's a little feature in the app that says root for this team during the game, and you tap on a button. I don't know if it has anything to do with the crowd noise. It's pretty cheesy. I don't know if it's bullshit or not, but that's there. I don't know how to get on there live. You know what my issue is? Announcers making these stupid-ass fucking jokes about the fake fans and about the virtual fans. Do you know how many times Jeff Van Gundy said, oh, look, there's Paul Pierce. How'd he get that seat? We got to get him in the front row. I'm like, dude, shut up. We know the fans aren't there. A foul ball hits a cardboard. We hear the jokes about that. Oh, that one had to hurt. Shut the fuck up. Please shut up.
Dude, I hate the fake fans. And I think they should just play in an empty freaking gym. They should play in empty stadiums. And let's just accept what this is. This is an asterisk year for sports, dude. I don't need that. It makes it corny, dude.
I'll say this though. Basketball's done a good job because you even forget the fans aren't even there. I was watching a game earlier today, the Suns and Clippers, and it's
you do
because the
do you not see the heads that are fat heads?
But they make it so compact. There's not really an outside view. Like, baseball has no choice. When there's a fly ball to left field, you're going to see all the open seats. Basketball can kind of keep that camera in the middle side of the court, and they've added new features like up close camera angles. So I think basketball, I'm perfectly fine. I haven't watched a ton of NHL. I don't know about you guys. Slowey, how do you feel about it overall?
I actually prefer the virtual fans. It's kind of cool. I think it just makes it a little bit more realistic. Like I said, these cardboard cutouts are freaky, you know? And they're all different. Like, some people are zoomed in, some people are zoomed out and blurry.
There was a freaking dog watching the Kings game today. And it was in the third row.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's better than a cardboard dog.
I don't know, dude. Also, though, I'm really interested because how they're like, when you're watching NBA games, at least the sound, it really does sound like you're at an actual game. Is it like that in the gym for them? I'm confused because pretty soon, because these are all just scrimmages basically. But what my concern is, when games are actually going to matter, dude, they're playing like open gym. It's just going to be weird.
See, you have that mindset. I think that Clipper-Laker game, I know it was the first game back. I watched a bunch of them, and the intensity's there. I know it's 8 preseason games. It's the tune-up games for these guys. But for me, at least, that last 2 minutes of the Laker-Clipper game, those dudes were going at it just as hard as if the games were in a regular season.
All right, well, can you now admit I was right about Alex Caruso yet, or no?
No. Why would I admit you think he's a G League?
Did you watch him play?
That was
game saving.
I'll agree.
Literally
He had one. See, this is my problem. You are a Laker fan this year. This is my problem with Laker fans. He botched the entire game and made one play at the end of the game. And you guys were like, yeah, did you see that great athletic defensive?
Yeah, but how important?
Play? Meanwhile, couldn't make a bucket the rest.
Yeah, but they don't need him.
All right, Max,
they don't need.
You guys will just never accept.
They don't need him to make buckets.
I know.
I'll accept that he's an above average point guard, nothing less, nothing more. Not some like made out all-star savior.
Is he better than Jeremy Lin?
He personally blew that, not this past game, but the one prior. With like 3.
Versus the Raptors, he was getting torched.
Yeah. Let's get into the games. So what games have you watched? Is the intensity the same? So you start. I think it is.
No, I do. Yeah, I like the. Yeah, I prefer it, and it lets a couple guys that usually would botch with all the fan pressure, really step up. You know, but they're all overperforming. You know, they're all scoring 20 points more than they usually would during the regular season.
And you think that's a correlation with not having fans right on top of them?
Well, you know, Barstool's Dave Portnoy said that it almost feels like, and Devin agrees that it's all just preseason fluff games. Like nothing seems real.
Yeah, and I do think
put it on to playoffs. That's what I'm saying. Even the Lakers, like, oh, it's preseason games. I just don't think you should save it. Or I think the performance is different.
Well, can we all agree that the Pelicans are absolute fucking idiots?
Why?
Dude, okay. See, I actually have a different take on this.
I think there's
go. No, I get the whole thing. Like, hey, let Zion play. But, dude, the guy has been hurt in high school. He was hurt in college. He was hurt in preseason. He got hurt in the regular season. Why are you going to waste him in first of all, no matter what you guys say, an asterisk season where at the best they are the 8th seed and get blown out by the Lakers? Why would you risk having him get hurt? It just doesn't make sense to me.
I don't know. I mean, it was there for the taking. We all been saying it. They made this rule that you could be within, 4 games to get
3, I think. Right?
It literally was set up for them to win a couple.
Okay, you guys really believe that the leagues made sure that
1,000%
a chance? I don't.
1,000%. Zion was the first game back when the bubble restarted. Every single Pelicans game is on national television. Even during the regular season, before the pandemic, every game was on national television while he was even hurt. Dude, he's a draw. That game against the Lakers this year was the highest watched NBA game.
No, I get that. But back to my point, though, that I said in the beginning, I feel like no one has. If you're the Pelicans organization, you're going to be playing this dude 40 minutes a game right now? No.
Here's what I have a problem with. In the first game back, they put him on the minutes limit. He played 15 minutes, 14 minutes, scored 15 points. It was a game they had to win against the Jazz. They lost that one. They got blown out to the Clippers. He played another 14 minutes. And then they played the Grizzlies yesterday, and he plays 25 minutes. And obviously it's the difference at the end of the game. He started to take over. He doesn't look himself. He looks a little bit out of shape. But how are you going to play him those minutes and then say, oh, wait, this is the Grizzlies. We actually need to beat this team. They're in front of us. Let's play him 25. So you should have went all in or all out.
Yeah, I would agree. I think you should have either not played him at all, or you might as well try to make a run. But again, it's like, dude, you're playing to be the 8th seed and you're going to get blown out by the Lakers. So it's like they don't have the talent to beat the Lakers.
Yeah, but even you miss the playoff, you get a 13th pick. It'd be better to get the reps, dude. Reps are important. Am I right, Slowey? Reps are important for these young players.
I say let Zion go 40.
Really?
Why not, dude? There's only a few games left, right? I mean,
dude, you saw him blow out that shoe, dude. If that happens one more time, his career might be over.
How long are you going to pamper the kid? I don't get it. You know, he's been working his ass off for something.
Your reception's trash, Devin.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh, is it delayed? Oh, maybe.
Is he glitching for games?
It's probably because Eric's in there playing Call of Duty. Dude, he takes up all the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, Slowey's probably getting that itch right now while he's talking to us. He's waiting to get out of here.
No,
I do think the Pelicans, even because they lost those 2 games, they're already behind. Right now, it's the Blazers who have a chance. I think the Blazers actually might overtake the Grizzlies because it came out today that Jaren Jackson Jr., torn meniscus, he's out of the bubble for the rest of the
year. He looked good in the bubble, too. I thought that guy was dog. He's
actually and he has the weirdest, ugliest jump shot. I don't trust those guys.
Yeah.
So Blazers, if they get it, people are already talking that if the Blazers get the 8 seed, they could potentially knock out the Lakers. They do have a lot of dudes. I'm not going to buy into that. Anthony Davis has been unreal. What was he, 42 and 14 last night? And that's one guy who the Lakers, they should be putting people on minutes restrictions. They locked up the 1 seed for the first time in a decade yesterday, and they're looking like they're going full throttle. I don't know how you guys feel about it. I know Portland, I don't think they have a chance if they have the 8 seed. I don't think they can play the Lakers and beat them.
You don't think?
No. It'd be a long shot.
I don't think the Lakers look that great, so that's my concern. You guys have all been giving me trash for it, but
I don't think the Lakers are going to win the championship, to be honest with you. I think he could easily beat the Blazers. My problem is they have just too much size with Anthony Davis and LeBron.
Yeah.
And experience, like LeBron will just will any team. But the comment that I just saw today on Twitter, something that just pissed me off, is Kuzma being like, this is for all you Laker fans who stayed with us. You guys were bad for like 2 years, and he has nothing to do with it. You guys you got LeBron and traded for AD. Like, why is he spouting off about it?
Because he's the only one that can. He's the only one that didn't get traded out of the guys.
I know, and geez, Laker, I don't know how you guys feel about it, but shit, at the time you guys wanted to keep Kuzma, but you guys should have ditched Kuzma and kept Ingram.
I think that's why he's spouting off about it, because a lot of fans, especially him, I mean, think about it. Going into this season, the biggest talk was, AD, LeBron, even though he's getting older, he's still at the top of his game, but who's the third guy? Kuzma was supposed to be that guy. He hasn't really stepped up all year. He's been great in the bubble. That's a guy that actually might benefit from not having fans. So he probably feels like he has to talk about it. And he's probably hating that on Twitter. I'm sure he's seen all the Brandon Ingram love, because Brandon Ingram's
well, don't be giving Laker fans credit for staying with them. Try being a Kings fan who have been in the playoffs in 20 years, dude.
That's true. That's very true. Can we talk about the Kings for 3 minutes? I'll give you 3 minutes, because I want to mention today the biggest news out of the bubble was Luka. He scored 40 against the Suns a couple days ago. And then today goes 34, 20, and 12. Youngest player to record a 30-point, 20-rebound, triple-double. 21 years, 158 days old. What's your stance on I know you're hating it, but just come clean about missing on.
I've been in denial for some time now. I finally came to terms today that we completely botched our franchise again by selecting Bagley over Luka. And I will say, at the time, I was all for Bagley, a guy who's played about 10 games as a King, while Luka is on his way to becoming a Hall of Famer. So today was a rough one, but I don't really have much. I don't even think I have 3 minutes for you, dude. My heart's broken.
I'm not the biggest.
Are you a Luka guy, Slowey?
Not these past 2 games, no. I thought he looked terrible. I don't care about the stats. Honestly, I watched the entire game. The guy looks soft. He gets tired.
What?
Porzingis? Yeah, I'm serious. He's just his stats. He just accumulates a lot of stats.
I will say, so I've always said this, and I still stand behind this. If you're an NBA superstar, you shouldn't have a husky body of a middle schooler, dude. What is that like? It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I don't get it.
That's his only job, is to like lift weights, stay in shape, and like play basketball, and he has a body like that. It doesn't make any sense. But he balls out. So
let me give you $10 million at 20 years old. Say, hey, come to the United States, live in Dallas, and play in the NBA. Let's see how you do.
Dude, we've been over what would happen if I was even given $5 million.
Yeah, so give him a break. And, I mean, there's those guys. Harden's not the slimmest of dudes.
Dude, the Rockets in general have like now Westbrook came on the team, but last year, I swear to God, they had the chubbiest basketball team in the NBA. It was him, PJ Tucker. Who else did they have? Eric Gordon, who's also chubby.
Chris Paul. Chris Paul
was kind of chubby. It's like the worst body team in the NBA. But is Aaron Gordon on the Rockets anymore or no? Does he just not play?
Eric Gordon?
Or Eric Gordon. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Is he Slowey?
I haven't seen him.
Did he opt out of the bubble?
Dude.
What about Lou Williams coming forward today and admitting it was a bad decision to go to the club?
Well, no, he didn't exactly even say it was a bad decision. What it was his exact words. It was pretty funny how he said it.
Didn't he say like poor judgment? No, it wasn't even poor judgment. Yeah, I know what you're saying. I forgot.
He wouldn't even really apologize about it. He said he could have made a better quality decision. The guy can't even say it was a bad idea.
I mean, I tried to defend him on this podcast. The wings looked delicious, and the catfish. I never had catfish before, but after seeing that picture, I think I would.
The wings, and I'm a wing connoisseur. Those wings, that photo makes me want to fly to Atlanta to get the wings. But it's just funny that he still tries to reiterate, even in his apology. He's like, I was at this funeral, so he's playing the sympathy card, about some guy that he really looked up to, or he's at a viewing. Is that a funeral? A viewing?
No, it's a couple.
No, I think is that when you view the body? Is that open casket? Is that what that is?
Yeah.
So that's what he was at. And then he's like, I went over to my favorite restaurant at, I'm at this place at 5 to 6 p.m. He had to throw in exactly the time he was there, and he had to call it a restaurant. Dude, it's a strip club. Yeah. Stop calling it a restaurant.
Yeah, even if I went to a local Chipotle and they had a couple dancers on the table, I would say, I'm going to my favorite restaurant. That's a restaurant. Jesus Christ. Chipotle actually look into that. What teams so far, we're not even teams have played 3 or 4 games. Is there any teams that you guys thought you slept on before these teams went into the bubble and now you're like, okay, they might have a shot? Because I jumped on the Celtics. They don't look too good, honestly. They don't.
Slow, you've watched more than I have.
No, he's watched because he's bet.
Yeah, well, exactly.
When I was at your pad on Sunday, this guy got to your house. We had 2 TVs set up for the Dodger game and Blazer Celtics, and this guy comes in and goes, "Dude, Cody, lock in, dude. Pirates Cubs. They're going into extras." I had to get the guy my phone to watch extra innings of the Pirates and Cubs game on a goddamn Sunday.
That's how you know sports is back, when you're betting on random baseball games on a Sunday. I'm just glad for the sake of this kid that it isn't video games that he's betting on anymore. These are actual.
That was rough times. The Madden Sims. Woo. Yeah. Who's sleeper teams that you might have slept on
for NBA?
Mm-hmm.
The thing is about the East, especially in these games, you need to talk about the playoff situations more. They don't at all, really.
What do you mean?
The implications. They just say, "Oh, they're the 8th seed," or I don't really even understand what the play-in is. You have to be within 4 games to be able to fight for that last playoff spot.
Basically, the East is basically already set.
Yeah.
As far as the 8 teams that are going, the Magic are 10 games ahead of the Wizards, so they were pretty out. They had to win out and have the Magic lose every game. But I get what you're saying. No one's even really talking about these are scrimmages and these are games for teams to get better and get in shape. But honestly, especially in the East, if you're the Heat, you're gonna want to win these games. You don't want to be playing although the Pacers are hot right now, but you want to be playing the Nets.
Yeah, you want to be playing the Nets.
Yeah, I honestly think it might have something to do with no home court advantage this year. That's why these announcers aren't really touching on it much. Because usually you're seeing these teams jockeying for seeding because maybe they want home court advantage. Now it's just who do you want to play, though? Devin makes a good point. If you're the Heat, you don't want to play the hot team. The Nets look basically a red carpet to the next round because they have dudes at this point.
Literally, they're gonna freaking ask Ethan Searles to suit up for him next
game.
I know,
my boy Jamal Crawford played today and got hurt in the first 5 minutes of the game.
But yeah, so it's one of those things that it's weird because it's and also at the end of the day, I almost feel teams are just we're playing in gyms in a bubble. We control our own destiny. This is the one year that I really wouldn't be surprised if an 8th seed beat a 1 seed. It would just be oh, that's really not that shocking.
Yeah, I could see that too.
Like if the Magic, first of all, I'm not saying this because the Magic beat on the Kings on Sunday and really just totally ruined my entire weekend. But dude, the Magic, like, what if they beat the Bucks? Like, I wouldn't be that shocked.
That would be absolutely shocking, dude.
I would not be that shocked to see the Magic beat the Bucks, dude.
I mean, you just watched the whole game in like 5 minutes.
When did Fultz learn to shoot again? I thought the guy couldn't even shoot.
Yeah, that was probably one of the funniest text messages you've ever sent. What was that?
Oh, the fact that, like, just sums up 2020 is Marquez or Fultz. How do you even say his first name? Markel Fultz? I think it's Markel.
Yeah.
Oh, right?
Yeah.
Markel Fultz freaking hit a full court shot at the buzzer, a guy who couldn't even shoot a year ago. It's just like, man, I don't know. Okay, no more to the Kings. All right, what were you saying? Who do you think? Who I'm surprised by?
Yeah, because I was from the Celtics, and by the way, I was never a big fan of the guy, but Jaylen Brown looks pretty damn good. I know he had a bad game tonight, but
he's a stud. In the East, I really liked the Heat for some reason.
Jimmy Butler.
And dude, I really like the Heat. And you don't like the Heat, Cody?
No, I mean, I'm not a big Jimmy Butler guy. I don't think he could be the number one player on a championship team. That's my issue.
Yeah. Well, the Raptors surprised me. Even though they're second in the East. Just the way they're playing, tough defense. They're coached. You can just tell they're coached really well.
That would be something, honestly. That'd be probably the most epic back-to-back championship in the history of sports if Toronto ends up winning this bubble. And there's no asterisk on that because they won it last year. They lost the best player, and Siakam has taken a step that not many people saw. I didn't see it. I never thought he could be the best player on a championship team, but that dude is skilled.
He is a stud. And then and that's interesting too, because obviously being defending champs, and obviously when you lose your best player, and I don't know, and what's his name, who's also on the Lakers, was one of their top players too. What is he even playing? He's not in the bubble, is he?
No, Danny Green's playing.
Oh, he is? Okay, yeah. So you lose two of your major that's like obviously everyone's gonna write you off. So all power to them that they've had as good of a season as they have had. But dude, I really think just because this open gym format kind of thing, I like the Rockets all of a sudden. I really like the Rockets.
That's what I said at the beginning, but we watched them tonight. Slowey, you could talk about it because I'm pretty sure you bet the over of 242 tonight just for the sake of this podcast, and you didn't hit, and they were bricking nonstop, and they don't have a dude over 6'7".
And they just like quit. You know, Harden was dishing the ball, not taking over like he should be as a superstar. And then when Russ is just giving the ball the duties to try and come back, he just kind of overdoes it sometimes. And if he starts missing, he'll go on a massive cold streak. So it was just surprising to see James Harden go silent tonight. And when they trade,
I think that a lot has to do with like the level of competition they're playing.
They have no sense. Who's the guy they traded?
The other night when he literally wanted to guard Giannis, and they won, which was insane.
Yeah, so how'd they look on that? How'd they look Sunday?
Great, I thought. I mean, they are what they are. We're going to shoot 1,000,000 threes. We're going to play very little defense, and we have literally the two of the top 5 players in the league. So, I mean –
yeah, I wasn't like Slowey said. I mean, they traded Capella to really go all in on this small ball lineup, and PJ Tucker's playing center. I mean, God bless PJ. I love him, but when you play a team like the Lakers,
I don't know if they have a shot, but why the hell does everyone love Devin Booker so much? Is he like everyone's best friend?
That's obviously a guy Devin would hate.
No, I don't have a problem with Devin Booker, and actually shout out to he's like one of the probably best Devins right now out there, I would say. He's like a top 5 Devin for sure. But dude, like it's so weird. Like he hit that buzzer beater tonight, and I felt like on Twitter and Instagram, like everyone was like, my guy. Like, is that that dude's everyone's best friend or what?
Because he's this elite all-star player shooter that has been stuck on the Suns for the past few years with no help, and to see them kind of finally blossom and do well, I think everyone just roots for them.
Yeah.
Shout out to Devin Booker though for like doing it for all the Devins out there.
That free throw, or not free throw, that game-winning shot from about the free throw line. I think every Clipper guarded him on that possession. It was a filthy buzzer beater. I actually napped and missed it. Because, dude, it's so tough. Like today, I tried to watch hockey for the first time, but I will never be able to get into a game during the week when it starts at 9 a.m. And these games are supposed to mean something in hockey. Like they're legit doing series for their seeding outside of the top four. And I was watching the game and I was like, dude, this is 9 a.m. How can I get amped right now?
Yeah. It's hard to get into hockey in the morning just because I feel like we're not as into it. But like back in the day, dude, I could rally for a college football game that starts at 9.
No, that's meant to be though. It's Saturday. Like this is so different. It's a Tuesday at 9 a.m. playoffs.
And what the hell were you doing on today's Tuesday at 9 a.m.? You were busy?
Not much. I thought about getting a coffee at Starbucks, rejected that idea, and came home and I was like, oh, hockey's
I hope Slowey knows he muted himself. Slowey, I hope you know you muted yourself, dude.
Did he?
Yeah, dude, I see that. There you go.
I wasn't saying anything. My computer was like kind of overgoing. So.
I don't know. Devin's probably watched a little bit of Dodger baseball. I think sports is all the way back because I'm upset that the Dodgers either absolutely mash or they can't hit a lick. And it happens from game to game. They're 8-4 now. They're in second place in the NL West, and Colorado's in first. I'll tell you the division leaders right now. There's a couple weird ones. The Rockies are 8-2, second time they've ever started that hot in franchise history. Then you have the Braves at 7-4. Technically, the Marlins are in first place because they played 3 games overall. NL Central, the Cubs are 8-2. I think they're horrible approach at the plate. I talked to Slowey about this. The A's are the first place in the AL West. AL East, Yankees, of course, they're 8-1, best record in baseball. And then AL Central, my Twins are 9-2. So the only weird one there, I think, is the Rockies, but they've been competitive over the last couple of years. But as far as baseball goes, Slowey, I know you bet that game on Sunday. How do you feel about betting with the new extra inning rule that a runner starts on second base? Because that's got to change the whole ballgame.
It just makes everything intense, and it makes the team that's like Pirates Cubs. That was the example. Pirates, I declare, is probably one of the top, the lower 2 teams in the league. But when you're able to start with a guy on second, it changes everything. You don't even technically have to hit. You can bunt him over, then sack fly him in. So it's all about strategy now versus who has the more talented teams. Obviously, in the past was going to be more likely to win. So it makes it way more stressful because it's like, fuck, whoever's up has it just makes everything. You saw me. It was just intense.
Has any of the games gone like super deep, like inning wise? Because that would have to be so demoralizing. Like you even have a guy at second and can't score.
Dodgers went 13 with the Astros last Tuesday.
It's just like, yeah.
It's just
you have a guy at second and you can't score.
It's that, or the Dodgers. I think it was a rebuttal situation. Like it could.
Oh, they were just countering each other. The other thing I've noticed about the Dodgers, and granted, like I don't watch as much as either of you guys. Is it just me, or do they leave the bases loaded all the time?
All the time. I literally tweet every single week that the Dodgers leaving the bases loaded, stranded, has taken at least 5 years off my life. Like seriously, when I die, go to my funeral and said, Cody might be leaving us today, but blame the Dodgers because he could have lived 5 years longer if they scored just a few more times with the bases loaded. It's awful. It feels like Austin fucking Barnes comes up every time with the bases loaded and hits the ball straight into the ground or whiffs every single time.
I don't know. I mean, I'm obviously not as big of a Dodger fan as you guys, but like,
yeah, you are.
It's just so frustrating because like it's like you watch it and it's like you have the bases loaded first off, and then half the time they'll get the bases loaded and they'll score like 1 run. It's like, dude.
Yeah, even against the Astros, like the first game on Monday night last week when Joe Kelly got suspended, they had the bases loaded, but even then, like a run got walked in, the Astros made an error, they hit a single, and the bases stayed loaded the entire inning, and I was like, even that, like get a fucking hit in the gap. Please score more than 1 run.
This is making me feel – this has been very therapeutic. Seeing you get upset at the Dodgers, this has actually been really therapeutic for
Well,
me.
it's so dumb. They're 8-4 right now. They're the odds-on favorite to win it all. They lead the league in ERA overall, and in home runs, they're tied. They should have a better record than that. And the Yankees are getting the love because ESPN jacks off the East Coast every single time. There's Red Sox, Yankees play each other. They're going to put it on TV. And I'm pretty sure A-Rod, get him off the television completely for the rest of the time.
What issue do you have with him announcing, though? I think he's fine.
Yeah, I think it's all a part of the plan to get himself into the Hall of Fame. Let me date J-Lo. Let me get in the mainstream media. Let me get those people to start loving me.
Dude,
let me talk on ESPN Sunday Night Baseball so people like me. And then let me try to buy the Mets so people love me. I mean, he's doing everything, and still he's the biggest fucking cock on planet Earth. He's Lance Armstrong.
Dude, if you got to date J-Lo, I would rather date her and get kicked out of the Hall of Fame. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
you think he's using her?
No, I think it's a good part of his plan, though.
Oh my God. You think this guy is some weird mastermind to find himself a way into the Hall of Fame?
Do you not know how big this fucking guy's ego is? Have you seen the pictures of him and I don't know if it was Sports Illustrated staring at himself in the mirror? Or him at the what's the where you have the bottom half of your body as a horse? What do you call that?
Dude, I've seen how many times before we've gone out, I looked at you and you've been staring yourself in the mirror for 10 minutes before we go out.
Yeah, I always do, but it's not an ego thing. It's like, dang, do I look good enough? Do I look good enough that possibly someone will give me an extra look at the bar? That's it. That's not me just looking at myself and saying, damn, I look sexy. Never once has that happened. Slowey, give me some hot take that you have about baseball right now. Who's your
Oh, you mean in regards to A-Rod?
No, you don't even I already
had enough of A-Rod, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, I just think a couple teams that I kind of wrote off for the season are balling out, like the Mariners and the Giants, are arch rival. You know, so I just think they're performing a lot better than a lot of people would believe.
What are the Giants at?
They're winning, so I don't know. They're coming back in fashion. They were down 3 against the Padres and came back. Hit a walk-off. I like that. Teams that would have heart, you know. You see me always talk about heart or have ice in your veins when you're a hitter. I just don't see the Dodgers doing that often, like leaving guys on base.
So you're just rooting for the Giants, who have 16 fucking minor leaguers.
I'm rooting for San Francisco sports. I'm just saying or the guy like the Mariners. They don't have any superstars, but they're good hitters. They're smart hitters, and they're scoring runs. It's fresh. Like Devin said it a little bit earlier, but like just leaving guys on base is extremely frustrating.
That's the worst,
dude. It's like the equivalent, because obviously I watch more football. It's like the equivalent of getting in the red zone and never scoring. Like, how frustrating does that have to be?
Yeah, and settling for field goals, that's a great, actually.
Like, Kevin, you don't watch a lot of baseball. You don't know, and do you know anyone on the Mariners or Giants?
Let's play this game.
Is Brandon Crawford still on the Giants?
Yeah.
That's the only one I think I know.
He's been there for ages.
Is Buster Posey?
He opted out, but yeah.
Wow.
Is I'm just kidding. I know that fool's not. Is he even still in the MLB?
No, he's
Wait,
out.
You said the Mariners, though? The only Mariner that I could, besides, like, obviously, like, the OGs, like Randy Johnson and Ken Griffey, but, like, the only Mariner I can only probably name 2. Ichiro, legend, and what's his name? King Felix. What's he up to?
He's on the Braves, but he opted out.
Jesus. Yeah,
you know the Mariners second baseman. He was my favorite Dodger at one point.
Orlando Hudson?
No. War number 9. Skinny.
Skinny?
He got caught with steroids, and he's the skinniest guy to probably.
I thought he was on the Marlins.
No, he's on Mariners.
The Marlins.
Mariners now.
Wow. Why can't I think of his name right now? He hit the home run after the guy died.
Yeah.
Oh, D. Gordon. Shout out Mariners.
So, baseball, there's no really anomalies there. As far as home runs go, it's Nick Castellanos and Aaron Judge. They each have 6. Nelson Cruz leads in RBIs. He has got caught with steroids, and he's still.
Nelson Cruz's fat ass still plays baseball.
Yeah, boomstick, dude. One of the best nicknames in sports.
Dude, I'm always so delayed with baseball. Please tell me he's not on the Rangers still.
No, that's when they went to the World Series and lost twice on the Twins. And then, dude, as far as pitching goes, you probably don't know this, Devin. Slowey and me talked about it before the season. Shane Bieber has 35 strikeouts right now. Absolutely killing it for the Indians. I didn't think he was that dude, but he has 35 strikeouts through 3 starts. It's only been done twice since 1893. Nolan Ryan in 83 and Garrett Cole in 2018. So that's a big deal. And then wins, Garrett Cole's at the top with 3 alongside of Sonny Gray. Sonny Gray looks like Devin. And Sonny Gray, since last year, has been one of the better pitchers in baseball.
Wait, first of all, I actually really don't know the answer to this. I'm sure it happened at some point because he just is such a clout. Has Justin Bieber shouted out Shane Bieber? Has he?
I think so. Shane Bieber's song, when he first made his major league debut, the Indians played a prank on him, and his song "Walking Out to the Mound" was "Baby."
Oh God!
And then during Players Weekend, I think he put something on the back of his jersey that was a shout out to Justin. I think there might be a tweet that they reached out to each other.
And then you said Sonny Gray is balling. I thought that guy sucked.
Sonny Gray's balling right now.
Sonny Gray is killing it since last September. He's been one of the best pitchers in baseball. He has 3 wins right now. And then as ERA goes, Lance Lynn probably weighs 280 pounds, maybe hitting 300. He's up there, Trevor Bauer, and I think Sonny Gray. But yeah, Trevor Bauer's balling for the Reds. So
I feel like Sonny Gray looks like a high school version of I'm totally blanking.
Honestly, look
from West.
Dude, your reception's terrible.
No, I do not look like him at all.
Dude, fix your reception.
Oh, I don't know.
You're literally
sorry about my reception. He's a high school version of Trevor Neer, dude.
I can see that.
Oh no.
I could see that he looks like Trevor Neer. You literally have been frozen for 3 minutes. Not a good look for you. We could get into NFL for.
Hopefully it wasn't.
The big story about NFL right now is they're giving the deadline for players to opt out of this season till Thursday. Some names have opted out. I think a few of the New England Patriots have, which there's been Belichick gifts around that have been hilarious, that Belichick doesn't really give a shit if they opt out because they're going for Trevor Lawrence. TMZ actually posted the story about what Matt Stafford's wife said. She is not happy with the NFL. Devin, can you talk about that story for a second?
Well, I'm a member of TMZ, not TMZ Sports. But yeah, I'm a little familiar. Isn't she upset because it was a false positive, right? And
yeah, he got tested 6 times in the last week, and 5 came back negative. And then obviously there was the 1 false positive, and immediately the Lions put him on the COVID list that they had just to. And then
of course they have to do that, but the reason why obviously that's hypersensitive for them is one, I think she just had another kid. I know they have a bunch of little kids, but also she had that insane brain surgery like within the last few years where like, so obviously she's at risk. And the fact that like, this is a prime example of like when people are giving people shit for saying like, hey, I'm opting out because I have little kids or people at risk at home. This is like exactly the reason why they are. I mean, right?
That wasn't even her issue with the whole thing.
What?
Yeah, I mean, I even forgot she had that surgery, but the whole issue with her was that he got put on this list, which made it public that he was on this COVID-19 reserved list that the NFL made for players that test positive. And she said that it's been hell over the last couple of days because even her going to grocery stores, people have been giving her looks. Her kids got kicked off a playground, I guess, and people that are even close to them, like people have kind of backed off of those people. So it's kind of a thing within their community that, hey, Matt Stafford tested positive, maybe not go around their family or anything like that. And it's all.
How is the NFL making that public before they actually know. Because another example of this that I totally got fooled was, Gardner Minshew was on the COVID list.
Yeah.
And they said he was opting out of the season. I'm like, dude, this guy smashed his hand so he could get another year of eligibility. There's no way he's opting out over COVID. And it's just because he had this similar situation that they thought he was around people who might have been around, or what's the word I'm looking for? He was basically around people that might have had COVID, but he didn't have it. So it's why are you putting these people on this list? I don't get it.
Yeah, it's
wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so the NFL, I mean, they're putting a steep deadline because I think players reporting on July 28th. I'm not optimistic about the NFL starting up, especially not on time. College football, the Pac-12 players are trying to start a union. We've seen college football try to start a union before. It hasn't worked. So I don't know what this Pac-12 situation is going to come of. I think NCAA should just go to spring. They should literally already come out and say, hey, we're doing spring football this year. If you want to opt out, the draft's going forward, be my guest. Why not? Why do you have it up in the air like this? I know they're going to lose some prominent players. I know Bateman, the Minnesota receiver, opted out today. I'm sure Trevor Lawrence will, Justin Fields. But college football, it's all about the no-name guys that you don't know. Of course, Clemson's backup quarterback's just as good as anyone in the country, I'm guessing. So we're going to see the next guy up. That's my take on the whole thing.
So how would that – I mean, that's the thing, pushing it to spring, and then what? Once it's over, you're pick right back up in fall?
Yeah, that's
probably such a short break period.
I mean, yeah, it's shitty, but I thought about that too. But it's basically you just wouldn't have spring ball. So it's and at the end of the day, I mean, Slowey, you know this, spring ball is obviously a big deal. When you're in college football, it's time to show the coaches, and they kind of set a depth chart and you kind of learn the offense. But at the end of the day, when you earn your spot over summer and fall camp, fall camp is basically it. That's where everyone's competing for a job anyway, or in a starting position. So I feel it basically would just cut out the off season for 1 year. And that's just what we have to do in a pandemic. 1 year, they won't have an off season basically.
Yeah, I'm fine with them doing that. I just, the NFL obviously can't do that. And NFL's dead set on starting in September. So here's the thing. Let's say we start the season, and just like in the MLB, a couple players go to whatever, a casino like the Cincinnati Reds, and let's say a starting quarterback I don't want to put a name, but let's say
you're about to jinx someone.
Yeah, I'll jinx someone. Let's say
jinxing someone, or are you profiling someone that would go out?
Yeah, profiling someone that would go out. Let's say a prominent quarterback.
Yeah, Johnny Manziel would have a tough time if this happened 3 years ago.
Dude, the guy had a tough time before COVID. No,
I'm saying, imagine he said a prominent big-time quarterback like Johnny Manziel would be tough. Go ahead, Slow.
So just imagine a prominent quarterback gets COVID.
Well, which one?
I'm going to find one right now. Okay.
Just say the kid
I'm
from –
trying to think of
Baker – say the kid from North Dakota State, North Dakota State. They're already hyping him up as a top 5 pick.
No, let's say Baker Mayfield gets COVID. Now he has to miss a week or two, miss a game or two. That's going to affect the season, affect the standings. You can't just postpone these NFL games.
And I know this is such a stupid thing to even bring up because you guys care about this way more than I do, but what the hell are you going to get in fantasy? Are you going to get a COVID spot? You have to, right?
Okay, let's talk about that because I think this is not many people like to talk about fantasy, but I think everyone kind of wants to know because the draft days are coming up. I actually thought about this today. So we're in a 3-keeper league team. I do think this year it should be 4 keepers, and that keeper spot could be for someone that possibly opts out of the season. But the opt-out date's even Wednesday.
No, dude. It's 3 keepers. If your player opts out, you have to keep someone else. That's just how it goes. But there has to be, there's going to be COVID outbreaks or whatever what we do, ESPN and Yahoo or whatever the hell we do. I think we do ESPN. There has to be a spot. You don't drop a guy if he gets COVID. That would be such bullshit.
I think that would be on their end. That ESPN fantasy people or the tech people need to create that inside the game. I'm talking about, though, like draft days. Like if we go forward with our draft on August 28th, the weekend, I already like requested it off. It's the weekend. So if we draft a team and say the NFL shuts it down like a couple weeks into the season, do we go back and have that team going forward? Like the next year?
Yeah, you're saying you get to keep the team for next year.
You said you're in a league that did that.
No, it's Slowey. Talk some sense into this kid.
He said he's in a league that did that.
For baseball, you mean?
Or I mean, it's the same thing, but we're talking like football terms.
Oh, what happened in baseball is we set the draft order and then COVID hit, so the season got postponed. Yeah, but no, we kept the team from last year, from my prior year. It'd be different if we drafted and then they postponed the season.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I think if we do this draft and they postpone, it's like, all right, well, you're keeping 3 of those guys for next year.
That's what Cody's trying to say.
Okay, here's the thing with that. Does their price go up, or does it would stay the same, right? The price.
Whatever you drafted them at for this year, and whatever they're valued at next year. I'm just saying. Well, okay, you got mad at me, but Cody owns Kyler Murray, the Arizona Cardinals quarterback, and they're probably their best right tackle or best tackle or their starting right tackle just opted out.
Yeah, and you posted that in the group chat. That was like a subliminal shot. It was.
What I'm trying to say is, dude, does that affect – there's little things that affect players' fantasy values, like the Broncos right tackle opted out. That's going to affect any Broncos player's fantasy outlook because they lose their star fucking offensive lineman.
But at the end of the day, obviously that does suck for the opt-out stuff, but like at the end of the day, the right tackle could have got hurt the first play of the game, or the first game of the season is out for the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's weird. It's just a weird.
I'm sorry to break it to you guys and the rest of the guys in the group text, but fantasy is luck. So there you go. It's
from the double sack.
Your guys staying healthy. That's all it is. Congrats. You guys stayed really healthy and you sat on the waiver wire every day. Why work?
So this year you basically have to draft based off of, like you were talking about earlier, like you could think of a couple that go out and party. We have to draft guys that have high character. Like, are they single? Are they married? Do they have kids? We have to put all this into account because they're going to be more careful if they have kids and they have a wife at home. So we can't be drafting this wide receiver who just got, maybe he's the top guy, but maybe he just got a lot of money and he might be going out. He might risk going out because he doesn't have to just.
Is there any way, if there isn't, they should make a website though, is of all the most religious players on each team.
Why?
Because dude, if you're religious, you're not going out, dude.
What does that have to do with religion?
Because dude, if you're religious, you're responsible. I feel like the most religious people I know are honestly the most responsible.
Yeah, I agree. That makes sense.
Dude, I don't agree.
I don't. Direct correlation, dude. Are you kidding me?
Who else was bringing this up? Don't invest in players you think are going to go out. OBJ is the first guy he pointed to.
Of course, the guy who didn't want to have the season.
Yeah.
OBJ is definitely.
He wants to have fun during the season. That's why he didn't want the season.
Who else parties though like that?
OBJ has money, right? He got his contract.
Ezekiel Elliott, I would not.
Oh, Zeke, Dak parties. I wouldn't want Dak.
He has a girlfriend now, so he might be locked down.
For now. Who else?
Kamara has a girl in every city he goes to.
It's kind of crazy that you think about it, though, that dude, they're like, what NFL stars are known as besides OBJ are real celebrities? Oh, Gronk, that's a real celebrity. Oh, but a guy that is a real life celebrity, like Tom Brady, Gronk, but obviously Brady's fine.
Rogers will. He's single now. Who knows what he'll do?
Dude, that guy's a square. You saw that guy chug the beer? No, he's fine.
Peyton Manning was.
Yeah. Oh, he was. Crazy though. I feel like the NFL. Everyone talks about how they have all these star power, but really, because you have the helmet. I know everyone talks about that. Odell Beckham is the biggest star in the NFL as far as star power, and Gronk probably. I don't know how we got on this tangent. I was just thinking about player party, and
we're closing in on 50 minutes. Let's get some final thoughts. I'm gonna go Slowey final thoughts. It could be anything about sports, anything related. I don't care. I'm just glad sports is back, and I think the only negative part was when Devin started off talking about the Kings. It's only negative, but I feel like we're positive. Sports are back. This podcast is gonna thrive.
Sports is back. Yeah, sports are back. I need football. We all know how big I am on fantasy football, and yeah.
Gonna continue to bet?
I just did that. Yeah.
Can you tell anyone some lines or anything that you're gonna jump on in the future?
What, tomorrow?
Yeah.
Let's see. I know I don't have one. Sorry.
Devin, final thoughts. You got a new beard you're rocking. You look pretty.
I was actually going to get into that. So I'm very hit or miss on how I feel about sports being back. So it really just depends on the day you talk to me. This has been a nice therapy session for me. I had a pretty rough day, but I will say though, this facial hair, I've never been one to keep facial hair, and usually people find it disgusting, but I kind of think I'm starting to be able to rock it.
Yeah, it usually looks like dirt, but that's the first thing I noticed. I thought you cleaned it up a bit. I just shaved. That looked good, dude.
Dude, speaking of, can we talk about that? You have like a certain glow about you. I'm not really sure what's changed in the last week, but
we don't need to get on that in the podcast. That's all you need to know. I got a job and I'm liking it.
You have a job, sports are back, and you just have a whole new glow about you. It's refreshing.
All right. Well, thank you guys for coming on. That's it for episode 28. You guys will probably hop on soon. The Kings will probably be eliminated in the next couple of days, but the Lakers are still in it. I'm hoping to get some hot takes out of you, Devin. Slowey, you're going to come on. You're backing up right now. Thank you guys once again.
Yeah. Peace out, guys. Always fun.
Peace out. Jump off. And there you have it. Kyle Slowey and Deven Rall once again coming on the 10After7 podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed it. You can follow me on Twitter at 10After7 or on the Instagram at 10_after_7. I'm out. Woo! Go Dodgers.